So it's an integrated software solution that serves as the buy side of the fund management world. So what we didn't want to do is to create a solution that just solved a compliance problem.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's good to tick that box, and we definitely do that with the system that we have in place. But what we find important is to be able to make that, you know, a positive catalyst for productivity going down the line. So, and how we do that is the data that we capture, as I mentioned before, helps people to understand the value of the research that they use, and hence it's a budgeting exercise, and it obviously gives them an insight into whether they're paying too much or too little, and can definitely save them, you know, hundreds of thousands, potentially even the millions of pounds on the research that they consume. But it also, very importantly, in collecting the data of certainly the qualitative data of research being consumed, we're collecting a huge amount of very high quality, high frequency data points, which also helps the firm to understand their own processes.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at transparency certainly towards the outside world, and funds being clearer about what they do and to their stakeholders, but certainly also increasing the internal transparency and understanding how teams work, you know, what is the most productive way to spend their time, what is the most efficient way to ingest research, to use research, etc. So that's really, for us, we see, you know, certainly the regulation as the stick, but I think there, you know, for these firms to put new processes in place to really harness data is for us a very important thing. But I think beyond that as well, you know, on the other side of a lot of processes, a lot of ways of, you know, they're obviously the producers of the research and the sellers of the research, and they themselves also need to understand, you know, how productive they are in producing that. What is their ROI of the research being produced? And, you know, our technology, which sits at the core of these solutions, is an integrated solution that automatically is able to extract usage information, qualitative and quantitative, applies just as well to the sell side as it does to the buy side. So, you know, we're now starting to speak to a number of firms there to really understand how what their use case is, and you know, to be able to make those processes better. And I think, you know, one thing that a lot of firms use is a CRM, and you know, what we find with the huge amount of firms is that populating a CRM is a pretty painful process.
Yeah.
It in large amounts of it is a very manual thing. You know, every meeting you have, you type up your notes, and so, you know, our system is built to be able to populate that automatically. So that's a very interesting road that we're going down.